Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are finally going to be taking a look into Elden Ring Nightreign. This is going to cover my first impressions of this game, my first experience with it, and obviously I'm going to have a few talking points throughout it that I'm going to layer over. And yeah, if you guys want to see more of this, definitely hit the like button, and if you guys want to see something else, let me know what it is down in the comments below. With all that being said, I'm going to let this play out, and I'll see you at the end.
Oh, okay.
Real quick, before we get too deep into this, I was playing this with two of my buddies, and they were kind of helping to guide me through this. And because of that, I skipped a lot of the tutorial stuff and just kind of jumped straight in. But more importantly, I didn't set up the Discord audio in the recording, so you're going to hear me talk to these people, and you're not going to hear responses, and that's why.
I was gonna say, what's the route here?
Alright, so the first thing that I wanted to cover in this video is actually that I had a misinterpretation of what this game was. I'm going to first explain what this game actually is, and then I'm going to explain what I thought it was after the fact. So this game essentially boils down to boss rushing during the day. You're going to gain runes from those bosses, and then you're going to use those runes at grace points to level up, to increase your health and the amount of damage that you do. Eventually, the night is going to come, which is going to spawn a random boss. You're going to have to defeat said boss, and then you're going to have to do that 3 times in total until you win the playthrough. Regardless, at the end, you're going to gain some tokens and some, I guess just tokens, yeah, that give you buffs for subsequent runs, make it a little bit easier and stuff. So now I'm going to explain what I actually thought this game was when I bought it, which was, I thought this game was going to repeat characters in their entirety. What I mean by that is, like, you know how in Elden Ring when you create a character, the only way to remove that character is to delete the save file. So that's more so what I thought was going to happen. It's not really like that. It's much more simplified, which is okay. It makes it more fun in a casual sense, but it also, in my mind, kind of reduces its replayability by quite a bit. But overall, I'm not really sure how I feel about this change one way or another. I did want to comment on it so that anybody else who might have thought that this game would play similarly, or at least more similarly to like online Elden Ring, that's not really what this is. But you guys can make your own denominations about whether that's important to you or not as we cover the rest of the points of this video.
Yeah, this is sweet.
Alright, so the next thing that I want to comment on is actually the system mechanics for this game. Now, overall, the system mechanics for this game are pretty much identical to Elden Ring's, with the sole addition of a tactical sprint, which I'll admit is actually pretty nice to have. The sprint itself is endless and can be attacked out of, which I was mostly using to just jump attack, which to like engage and stuff, which seemed pretty decent. Now with new additions also come new design choices, and some of these I thought were kind of interesting. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is kind of a clunkiness when customizing your loadout. There was a time where I picked up the Meteoric Ore Blade, and I thought that I was going to dual wield with my starter sword, and I tried to do that and it didn't work, and I don't really know why. And so maybe I just missed something really obvious and I had to do something that I didn't, but it just felt really weird because in Elden Ring, katanas were super versatile and dual wielding was like a part of a lot of builds and stuff, and then on top of that there was ways that you could play it to where it would be single build as well, or like two-handed. But my buddy was telling me about something that can like duplicate a weapon, which is like the one thing that it does allow you to dual wield, which I don't know, the whole thing seems kind of clunky and weird to me, but
I keep pressing the wrong button.
maybe I could get used to it the more I play it. I haven't really spent that much time in the game still, so that might be something that I acclimate to as I play it. The next thing isn't really something that I think is strange, but actually something that I think is kind of cool. I think that the abilities in this game, having like the ultimate ability and then like the more quick time ability, is a really interesting thing to have, and I think that that's something that this game definitely benefits from having in terms of its enjoyability and stuff. So that's, you know, points to them for that. But you cannot have the good without the bad, and the dragons in this game are still incredibly clunky. If you guys ever played the original Elden Ring, you guys know that fighting dragons was absolutely abysmal in that game, and it's still kind of similar. The dragons that are bosses so far that I've fought were mostly just these wyvern style ones, and so I don't know if maybe at the end of nights and stuff you might get like Placidusax or some
I love
crazy
how my
shit,
camera didn't
but
fucking move to see
those I guarantee are not fun boss fights to do. These boss fights that we were running, that you're watching right now, weren't super fun just because the camera is so wonky, it gets so confused. The dragons themselves move a lot, so you get the camera issue a lot, and it just overall feels clunky and weird and bad. And so that is something that I, you know, kind of do want to dock points for, is just the neglect of an overhaul of this. I don't really know how you would overhaul this though, just thinking about it logically, so I don't really know if there's much they even can do about it. But that's enough about me ranting. We are going to move on to the last point, which I believe is the final.
Did that not hit?
Well, not really final point, rather just my final thoughts, right? Overall, I think this game is very fun. I think this game kind of has a steep price point for what it actually is though, because I think that you're going to get more worth out of the Elden Ring 10 times over than the worth that you get from playing this game. Now, if you're somebody who plays with your friends every single day and wants an Elden Ring style game like this, then absolutely get it. I would recommend getting this game if it's on sale ever. I just don't think that it's worth its retail value. Now, with that being said, you guys are very free to draw your own conclusions from that. But my first experience with this game ever is what you're watching right now. This is the conclusion of it. We died during the storm during a boss fight, and our run ended short pretty much after the first day.
No, there's not. There's not.
Overall,
the only
I do
point
think
that
this
there
game
would
is
be is
fun.
if you
I think it's
res
worth
with-
it if the game's on sale, but other than that,
flags.
I think you're probably better off to just buy Elden Ring. But
Damn, we
leave a
walked past it
comment, let me know what you
multiple
guys think
times.
about the game down below. Like and subscribe to see
We did
more.
all die at the same
And
time.
with all that being said, guys, I will see you guys next time. Later.